Do you struggle with turning your social media into a meaningful online presence? What if there was a master plan that could change all of this for you? Well, there is, and I'm going to share that with you today over a brew. Often we find ourselves lost in the labyrinth of likes, shares and retweets, forgetting that social media is more than just sharing the pictures of your dinner. It's more than a showcase. It's a powerful tool to share your personal brand, your why, and what you do that can transform other people's lives. So let's unravel this digital landscape together. Cheers. The hero of this story is Melissa. Melissa found me on Facebook, I believe, and we built a connection, and she came to work with me on our social media accelerator last summer. She wanted a way to really freshen up her social media, to make those connections with her existing clients and new clients and really foster a solid personal brand. But like most people, when they come to me, they're stuck. Melissa knew that her clients were on social media. They knew that they loved the work she did, but she wasn't quite sure how to put it out there. Melissa's a photographer in New York and creates amazing pictures, families, boudoir shot, headshots, personal brand photography. The reason she was stuck though, is because she didn't have a plan. It wasn't she didn't know what to do. It wasn't she didn't know where her audience were. It was the fact that she didn't have a plan and she wasn't taking action on that plan. A plan doesn't need to be scary, it doesn't need to be overwhelming. A lot of people think, oh my God, there's going to be spreadsheets, there's going to be whiteboards and post-it notes. No, actually, it's just identifying where your audience are, how do they like to consume content, when are they online, and what can I do to pull them towards me? What can I put on social media and how can I do that to attract people towards me that doesn't feel all slimy and salesy, but builds and fosters deep relationships? Because with your social media, you should be intentional. It's social on media. It's not about spamming people with posts and, saying buy my stuff and get this offer and this, that and the other, because if you start doing all of that, people really start to devalue what you're about. So let me share with you 4 simple steps to get this plan moving that you can actually take action on today, and then hang around to the end of the video for a Brucey bonus, which will absolutely accelerate you 100 miles an hour and get people pulled towards you even quicker. Queen Elizabeth II said this: to be believed, you need to be seen. If people don't see you, and they don't know who you are and what you stand for and what the why is behind what you're doing, then actually, what makes you any different from anyone else just spamming social media? We need to look at what your content says, your messaging says, and who it's going to, and have all of the sizzle and, and why and deep-rooted love that's in here from you. So it starts with your content, because content generates awareness. Awareness creates your traffic. And when you've brought people somewhere, ideally a community, you then get to nurture those relationships, thus turning that traffic into potential customers. So let me share with you these 4 simple steps so you can take action today and hang around for that Brucey bonus. And if this video is just pinging off some light bulb moments for you already, then smash the like button, press share, and don't forget to subscribe too. Let's look at this plan, this strategy. First, we need to focus on our content, where we are speaking about one thing over a period. 1 week, 1 message, we call this. If we're talking about 1 week, 1 message, it suits for live stream focuses as your pillar content. It suits YouTube channels. It suits podcasts. We talk about 1 week, 1 message. And what we're doing there is this. We take one piece of content as your pillar piece. It might be this YouTube video. And then every piece of content throughout the week comes from this YouTube video. Why? We're on brand, we're on message all week, and it gives a clear indication to our audience what we're talking about. What you've got there is a content plan straight away. 1 week, 1 message. Now, if you just took 7 clips from this, you've got a post for every day of the week. If you take quotes from what I'm saying on here, you can have a quote going out every day of the week. And then what you've got, you can grab a still, and that could go out every day of the week. You might just pull out a couple, a few one-liners, even the transcript. That could be a blog post. You could turn that through AI and ChatGPT and all those fun things right now. You can turn them into so many pieces of content. The idea here is that you stay on brand with your message. 1 week, 1 message. Very simple. Step number 2 is this. You must set some goals. What gets measured gets mastered. So look at it over 30, 60, 90 days. Because when you're doing that, the data doesn't lie. You can look into the back end of the analytics. You can say, this is performing well. This isn't performing well. We should continue with more of this. You might might decide, like I have and like Melissa has, is, do you know what, one pillar piece of content a week for 30 days. And that way, you know what the goal is. You know what the strategy is. You might then say, right, I'm going to take that pillar piece of content and it's going to be 7 micro pieces, 7 clips, 7 reels, 7 shorts, 7 TikToks. We like to use an omnipresence social strategy when you're starting out. That way, it reduces the overwhelm. So you've got that one pillar piece of content cut into 7, and then it's the same piece across all of your social channels. Reduces overwhelm, and it's more likely to get achieved. It's more likely that you're going to do it, and therefore you're going to hit those goals 30, 60, 90 days. Step 3 is obviously your personal brand. Get into your content. Take it from in here. Why you do it? Cement that in. Melissa is a mom, so she's got shoots and pictures and stories around her family. Do you know what she's done off the back of building her personal brand and working with us? She's actually living that dream right now. She's opened a second studio within 6 months. By sharing your why, who you are, what you're about, what your passions are, and what you want to do, sharing those goals and those achievements, saying, yeah, I've launched a new content strategy, I want to attract people like you, with really putting that out there. You've got something, you've got a North Star to go towards, and that is what she's done. So now you've created that strategy, set your goals, locked in with people with your personal brand. Well, now you have to create a schedule for that content. Now, I would suggest you have one weekly video, like a YouTube video or a podcast or a Facebook Live, and then from there, clip it up. Set a schedule that, 1, you can manage, that you have the capacity for, and 2, that you feel comfortable with. Because whilst, yes, it's all about the client and you're showing up for the audience and this, that, and the other, if you can't do it, and if you fall off the edge of that cliff, if it becomes overwhelming, then what will happen is it will stop coming from here, it'll start coming from here, it'll be like a chore, I must do this, and it will just break. When we work with Melissa, she went from in here. She was elated on every coaching session. She smashed the strategy and the plan. And you know what? Actually, you know what? Don't take it from me. Have a listen to what Melissa said.
Hi, my name is Melissa Towsley, and I'm a portrait photographer based out of New York. And I just finished working with Stephen on a mastermind program, and I am so obsessed with my new plans. Now I have this mission statement. It's making my content feel so much easier. And after the couple of weeks of working with Stephen, I came up with a plan that Stephen helped me come up with that is so easy and so manageable. I'm also a mom and I work my business full time, so time is very precious when it comes to running my business, and Stephen really helped me to figure out how I can work on social media without pulling out my hairs or getting more grays, and I am so grateful. So if you're looking for someone to help you gain clarity on your branding message or come up with a plan that is really going to be workable for you and really work in that like power center of where you're really generating the clients and leads, then Stephen is the person to work with.
So you've heard from Melissa. Now, create a simple strategy. 1 week, 1 message. Set your goals, 30, 60, 90 days. Use your personal brand, dig into your why, share your story behind and through your content, and create a schedule that suits you. Looks like we're at the end of our tea, so we must be at the end of the video. Not quite. I promise you a Brucey bonus. Tip number 5. If you want to really make ground like Melissa, then we need to get you comfortable on video. We've talked about video being your pillar piece of content. So around here somewhere, or I would imagine there is going to be a link to a video which you can jump on and learn how to create content in only 2 minutes a day. And I will see you on the next video. Much love. Big Daddy out.